Creators been broke too long for them to have options. Still express your creativity, Nikki, just not on your client stuff. Once you get to 10K a month, I don't care what you do. We end up trying to automate the business when the business is not even systemized to automate. If I'm the only person who knows what you need, why would I allow you to pick it? Do you understand my vision? And are you the right person for the job? You have to think like a CEO, not a photographer and videographer.
Was poppin'. Welcome, Nicky and Moose. I'm Nicky. That's Moose. What's up, Moose?
What up, y'all?
And we have a very, very special episode. Let me just get the air horns already. All right. I personally love this dude. One of the funniest guys behind the camera and in front of the camera, okay, has created an amazing shooters camp, shooters agency.
Said the word.
I know. I wasn't, but they still may not know. They may still not know. I don't know. Just a really dope individual that we had to make sure get on this platform and break down how he went from a rapper to now a millionaire. So we're gonna talk about it. Moose, who we talking about?
Man, the one and only Brandon, the shooter. So it's home.
BrandonShotMe. Let's get into this intro.
Two kids from Queens, cut from a different cloth. Now joining forces, helping you to elevate your personal brand. Yeah, I'm talking about Nicky and Moose, bringing you a never-before-seen perspective into the mindset, the mentality, the behaviors, the driving force, but more importantly, the stories behind the people and brands that you know and love the most.
And you already know, before we start this episode is powered by Ecamm Live. Everything you're seeing, everything you're hearing is done by Ecamm Live, the all-in-one streaming platform that takes care of your audio, that takes care of your video, for whether you want to do pre-recorded stuff, whether you want to stream on Facebook, YouTube, all of it. That's all done through Ecamm Live. So go hit us up, www, all those W's, NickyandMoose.com/Ecamm for your free 14-day. But let's get into this interview. You see
Let's
him.
Go.
We have the one and only BrandonShotMe. Yeah, man.
Yeah, what's happening? Man, I'm glad to be here. I have the Hennessy. It's just not with me.
Okay. You want to go grab it? We talk. Me and Moose will talk a little bit real quick.
Fine, I'll go get it. You ain't got
Okay, all right.
Oh, wow.
So until the meantime, so you already know this is going to be a very unusual and silly interview. I just want to put that out there. Before he comes back, Moose, do you have any? Oh wait, nope, he's back. Nope, he's back.
That was quick.
Okay, cool.
That was quick.
We're not going to sponsor them. We're just going to
No,
be
we're
over
not, because they don't pay us. They don't give us a check, nor unless they give you a check. They give you a check.
I'm working on it.
Okay, as long as we work about it. All
Working
right.
on it.
Hey,
All right,
listen, I'm here for it. Wait, before anything, because there's probably like 3 or 4 people who don't know who you are, right?
Okay.
Just 3 or 4, not too many. But if you could, right? Can you introduce yourself and kind of just like how did we get here? Because my man has the I don't know if y'all see him. Let me show you. The chain is something heavy lately. The chain is oh.
Yeah.
But can we talk about that?
Yeah. So my name is BrandonShotMe. I'm a photography and videography business coach, and I literally came from employee to videographer to photography and videography coach. That's how I got here. A small hometown, North Carolina. Was about 10 people in the city. Well, one was 9 now because I moved out. So from a small area, man, and now I'm in Atlanta, doing what I like to do.
Doing what he likes to do.
Helping people.
I'm with it.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Yeah. Talk, man. You know, what's funny is I still remember meeting you for the very first time back at Shans and Spy. I think we were there for like one of the Game Changers event.
Yep.
And of course, seeing you in that realm. But my favorite part is that I've seen the growth strictly online. And
Yep.
what's unique about it that makes it extra special is that it's usually a role that people who like they aspire to jump out from behind the camera, but they almost never know how to.
Yeah.
So just kind of talk about maybe even as people get to learn more about what you've been doing. What was the switch that happened in your mind to say, oh, I'm gonna go from person behind the camera to in front of the camera to helping people utilize this as a tool and actually make something of it?
Yeah. So one, I think hang around a different group of people. So when I was working a job, all I hung around was employees, and we talked about employee stuff, right? Now, although I wanted to talk about entrepreneurship, I wanted to talk about business. One, I didn't know anything about entrepreneurship. I didn't know anything about business, so I can't talk about things I don't know about, right? So once I quit my job, I started hanging around David Shans, and he introduced me to a host of other entrepreneurs around this time. So once you start hanging around different people, you start to think like them, right? So the terminology was different, the language was different, everything that everyone did. Even when I met Nicky and Eric Thomas, all this stuff for the first time, everything was different. So what happens is we start to pick up a different lifestyle, and that, I guess, transformed me to the person that I am today. So the only thing that separates me from a lot of other photographers and videographers is that other photographers and videographers hang around each other. I decided to something else, something different, which was business owners, millionaires, entrepreneurs, you guys, and things of that nature. That's what.
Hold on. Let's stay right there. Why did you do that? Like, you're
Okay.
right. Creators stick with creators. Like
Yep.
CEOs stick with CEOs. You said, no, I'm gonna go over here. What was the reason for that, and kind of what was the result of it?
Cool. So what happened was in 2016, when I quit my job, I read my first book in the past since high school, right? It was called 10 Distinctions Between Entrepreneurs and Employees. So what happened was this book just told me what the difference between the two. So entrepreneurs do this, entrepreneurs take risks and all this other stuff, and employees don't, whatever. I realized I was everything on the entrepreneur side, but I also didn't know anything about entrepreneurship. So all I really wanted to do was just be around an entrepreneur that could show me how to be an entrepreneur. So it wasn't like I was trying to plan to be behind the camera. Wasn't trying to plan to get super rich. I was just like, I need to be around an entrepreneur that can show me how to do this thing that I am. You know what I mean? It's kind of like finally find out you're an eagle for the first time. It's like, well, how do I fly like eagle? How do I do eagle stuff? Right? So all I want to do is just be around someone who can show me how to be that so that I can be the best entrepreneur I can be. And then through that time, I just happened to, like, literally when I first went to David's kiosk, it was like a whole bunch of people who ain't got no job. I'm like, I just got here. Why ain't nobody working? It's
Why
weird.
everybody broke?
Yeah, what's happening right now? So ain't nobody got no job right now. Like, yeah, we entrepreneurs. This is weird. So yeah, it just kind of happened over time. I wasn't intentional about it. I was intentional about being an entrepreneur, but I also wasn't intentional about like being around so many different entrepreneurs, being around millionaires. And I just really I wanted everything out of like a David at the time. I want everything out of his head in my head, essentially.
So then what happened next, right? You mentioned the story of at one point having a 9-to-5, leaving a small town, getting to Atlanta, kind of starting to pick it up and patch it together. You connect with David. What happens after that? We know you don't immediately kind of get to the millionaire status. There's that journey. What happened after that? What was that journey like?
Yeah, so really, I just want to be. I really want to be really good at playing my role with working with David, right? So I shot for David for free for 2 years, right? And then around this time, I needed to be able to grow not only for me, but also for him, right? So I needed to, I know I couldn't shoot and edit at the same time. So I'm like, I need editors, right? I need to be able to build a team. There was a lot of stuff that I needed to do, and it was tough for me to do while still working with David. So at that point in time, I branched out, and I was like, I need to be able to be better for me, my family, and everything that I want to build on my own. So then when I branched out, I linked up with people like Derek Harper, Ken Collier. We flew overseas. I hired my first editor overseas. And then I figured out like retainer prices, how to get people to pay me so they can pay for my editors. And then it kind of like grew from there.
Wait. You're going too fast. You're going too fast.
A lot of stuff in between, but however
we're
y'all
gonna break it down. No, we're
like,
gonna break it down. I got you. Because I will actually want to bring up when I first met you, like we were talking and everything like that. I remember you shooting weddings.
yeah,
Like there was a part of life you were shooting weddings, and then but you were also shooting David, and so
yes.
I know. But going back, you also did music videos. I'm bringing all this up because I know you teach other videographers and photographers to kind of niche down. So I actually want you to talk about the process of all of that, but what made you niche down to what you did from the wedding standpoint, right? Then further on, and how important it is to niche down.
Oh, that's good. Thank you, Nikki. Bang, high five.
I'm here for you. I'm here.
So here's what happened. When I first of all, I've always had a niche up until one point where I did multiple things at one time. And that's what made me know. That's what let me know that niching out was important. So when I first started, I was doing music videos and I was doing, I'm not going to say well, but well for me. That means I would charge $400 a video, whatever. And I'm like, that was good money because I make $10 an hour, $300, $400 a video, call it what you want, side hustle. I need that, right?
Yeah.
So I've done that for a couple years. And then I said, I'm going to stop doing music videos. Then I'm going to do short films, right? Short films, web series, whatever. So I did all that. I didn't make any money, but I did like well in it, or I guess well for me because like my stuff got awards. I'm an IMDb Pro. I don't make any money, but it's like I look successful, or my stuff is doing decent, right? I got 100,000 views of short film on YouTube, stuff like that. But like, it's working out. I'm just not making any money. So then I stopped doing films and I went into weddings, right? Weddings helped me quit my job, right? So I'm doing weddings, I'm traveling all over, and now but I'm also working with David during the week, and I'm doing weddings on the weekends to help me pay for not only my like, bills and all the other stuff, but also so I can continue to work with David for free. Okay. So this particular time I got all these three things. I said, well, what'll happen if I just put everything together and then I could just blow up? Right? I said, what if I put I'm gonna build a website. I'm gonna put weddings on there. I put music videos on there. I put commercials on there. I put films on there. And I'm like, listen, it took me some months. Yes. I'm like, once you see this, I'm about to blow up. Literally, millionaire overnight. I couldn't wait. Right? Wix had a joint where they'll help you kind of like you could pick the template.
Yeah.
I was like, this joint is about to be crazy. And I took time on it. I kept revising it because I ain't want to let anybody know it. I kept it's coming soon. Right? Website coming soon. See what I'm saying? Once the website drop,
it's a wrap. Millions.
What? Overnight.
All day.
So when it finally got done, and I couldn't wait, but I said, well, it's the week. I'm over time. It's the week right here. It's a website week. Webby week.
Webby week.
Webby week. Webby week.
I dropped it. I let everybody know. I let people know on Facebook. I posted in Facebook groups. I'm not really sure I posted on Instagram. I might have posted on Twitter, but it was literally everywhere. And I'm like, boom, here we go.
Waiting for the
crickets.
Millions.
Hold on. Do I got crickets? I want to see if I have crickets. Do I have crickets? I got you. I think I do.
I was like, hold on, they might didn't. Let me post it again. They might didn't see it. It take a while. The algorithm. Let me post it.
Algorithms. Yeah.
Let me just. I posted. It was too early in the day. Let me post it after. That's what it was. Sometimes.
Yeah, post it after work.
Yeah. People getting off. It's a lot
after work.
I get it. They probably didn't see it. Right. So I did it again. Let me post it.
Oh, this one's a go.
Yeah, it's going.
Then came the millions.
Yeah. So I thought it was the same thing as earlier.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So.
All right.
I thought.
Yeah.
Now I've been doing this for a long time. I've been 7 years, about 6-7 years at this point. I'm like, you should know. You know how long I've been doing it. you see all the different types. You see how diverse I am. That should let you know.
You see what I do. You see,
Yeah.
you know what I do.
This website is crazy.
Facts.
Come on, you see how long it took me months on this website. This was not an overnight website. I did this by myself. No help.
Mm.
It didn't perform. It didn't convert. I didn't make any extra dollars.
Ooh.
So now I'm doing businesses at this time. Most people are still hitting me up, just referrals, speakers. Hey, come shoot my stuff. And I remember Moose, I think I shot you and maybe Inky Johnson, whoever, at like a school. Like people just keep hiring me to like, hey, let's do speaking events. Let's do entrepreneur stuff. Let's do business stuff, right? Even on the wedding side. The crazy thing about the wedding is that my wedding company did not have a face to it. So even though I was the person who always came out, but people kept booking me for weddings, it was like I was living a double life. Like I had two different lives. So they both were doing well without me specifying that I'm doing them both. That makes sense?
Yep.
But Nicky, you might have been the only person. Moose didn't know I was doing weddings.
I had no idea.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, we had that combo.
Moose seeing me like, this dude is the GOAT when it comes to speaking or when I'm shooting speakers or whatever, right? And Nicky's like, no, he's pretty decent at weddings too. He's pretty, he can do it.
Yeah, I knew you more based off of our conversations on the wedding. Like that's where the money was. So I didn't even care what you were doing with the speakers because I care where the money's coming from.
Right. So I'm like, I'm not really gonna pay a lot of money on speakers, but it's like what I realized is whatever I focused on, and when I went back, whenever I focused strictly on music videos, people call me all the time for doing music videos. When I did weddings, when I was doing the directing stuff, people always hit me up like, let's do web series, whatever. I got called all the time. Every time I do things when I was in a niche, it performed the best. Mm-hmm. And that's when I put two and two together. I'm doing two different things. I have two different niches, but nobody knows about it.
Mm-hmm. And let me ask you this stuff.
Not letting the other person know that I'm doing the other one. So business don't know that I'm doing businesses, and business don't know I'm doing weddings.
Is it an approach or is it a mindset? Is it an approach of like, oh, it makes sense to me. If I make myself available to more things, I make more money. Or is it a mindset of like, I don't know, maybe call it limited belief of, no, there's no way I can make more money focusing on less things. Like that don't even make sense. Like we grew up on, for you to get more, you got to do more.
Absolutely. It was definitely a mindset. And so when it came to that point in time where I felt like I wanted to make more money, that's why I put everything together. I'm like, well, I'm super, super talented. Why don't I just do everything? I'll get super rich. Mm-hmm. Find out it was the opposite. I got super broke. Yeah. So now I've been really, really hung up because most, or it could be all, right? Creatives are multi-talented.
Yeah.
Right? We can do a lot of crap. Edit, sing, dance, do push-ups. We just freaking, I don't know.
We're amazing. Yeah.
And it's like, to be able to put that in a box is tough to tell a creator. It's very, very difficult. Right? So I try to control that to tell people like, listen, I know you can do all things, but if you can just focus on one for a short period of time to be able to get to your money goals, now you can branch off and start doing other stuff. Right?
That's a fact.
So I'm not trying to take away the creative ability because I understand that creators want to keep creating. I don't want to be the guy I'm like, you can't do anything. No, I do want you to keep being creative because you're like, people don't want to do it because they think like, no, you're taking away my talents. Like I want to keep expressing my talents. You can keep doing that, just not right now. And I say that because, your mom's still struggling, right? You still working a job. Your wife, your spouse still working a job. Your brother needs your help. Your dad has cancer. You got all the stuff that you need money for. You got the creative genius to be able to make that happen. But since your mindset wouldn't allow you to be able to grow, you continue to not only you suffer, but the people around you also suffer because of your lack.
Jeez.
Wow.
But real quick, whether it's you or your students, right? Mm-hmm. Give an example of possibly a roundabout amount, how much they were making when they weren't niche down to when they did get niche down. Because I want people to see, like, yeah, I hear you, Brandon, but like you said, I'm a creator. Like I make money off of here. I make money off of here. If I work harder, I could possibly get made more. But you have real life examples of, nah, let me show you this difference.
Yeah, yeah. So, and that's a really good question, because when people tell me that they aren't niche down, and they tell me, they say it's working. I asked them, like, is it working out? They say yes. And the reason why they say it's working, because money that should come into their account. It's not a lot of money, but money is coming.
Yeah.
So I'll ask them things like, how much money were you making? How much money you're making? They can't give me a solid answer. So I say, give me a roundabout. So they'll give me a range. The reason why they give me a range is because their money always fluctuates. So it'll probably max $2,000 a month. Max. You may hit $3,000. Your best month may be $3,000.
Right.
Okay. So, but most of the time it'll fluctuate. They have seasons. It'll fluctuate between $500 to about $2,000 every single month. And you can't guesstimate however much it's going to be. It's just, whoa, somebody happened to call me and that was $1,000 job. It just happened to work out that way. But most of the times they're hustling every single day. They're editing every night, shooting every day. They're booked and busy. They're charging $200. And at the end of the month, when they look at the bank statements of how much they made, it max about $2,000. But they're not niche down. So it seems like it's working.
Right.
I made $2,000 last month. It works. I'm like, right, but you could have made 10 easily with less work, right? So after people start working with me, right, they start making $10,000, $15,000, some even $20,000 a month. But it's not about the money. The money is one thing, but the time is the most important. Not only are they making more money, but the less time they have to put into it.
That's good.
So let me give you an example. So let's say you're talking on the phone with 10 people. Let's say it takes 10 people to close a sale. If you talk to 10 people and you finally close one person for $200 one time, is it worth it? Probably not. We're talking about 8-10 hours on the phone.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. But if you finally close somebody for at minimum $1,000 a month, that's $1,000. Not only you got $1,000, but that's $1,000 one month, but $12,000 at the end of the year.
Facts.
Then you ask yourself, was it worth it? I would much rather do the opposite. Now, the money is great, but it's all about the time, because creators want their time back and they don't know how to get their time back. They sell more time to make more money. They call this thing called booked and busy. I want that. That's cat.
Yeah, it's draining.
Let us straight. I don't book and busy. Don't book me. I'm busy. What you doing? Nothing. I'm eating chicken wings. I'm hanging out.
I remember a convo where it was like, yeah, they can't, there's nowhere in my website you could find book Brandon. No. I remember that. I don't even know if it's still the situation, but I remember that.
Literally, I had a guy a few days ago. He called me. He said, listen, I want to come to Yellow Print. We got a VIP mixer that Friday night. And he said, I just want to spend like an hour with you. And I was like, ooh. I was like, I don't really do that. But what you can do at the mixer, you can ask me questions because I'll be there. And he was like, no, I don't need that. I need to go ahead. Because you want to hire me, you just go and sign up for coaching. Now I understand you don't have the money to invest in coaching, which is fine. I'm not expecting anybody to have the money. You're supposed to go find the money. Regardless, here we go. So he said, no, you have to do it this way. He said, well, I want to just pay for the 2 days. And can I spend an hour with you there if I stay over? I'm like, I'm tired. I'm not doing that. He said, listen, I'll just come in I'll stay for another day on Monday and I'll just pay you for the hour. I was like, you don't own my time. Like I put a system in place to help you win, which is Shooters Camp, Shooters Inner Circle, all these things I have in place to help you win. Go through the system. That works. If you try to do a one-on-one or 1 hour call with me, whatever, is there actually enough information in an hour for you to help you go from 0 to 100K? So let's say you did spend $1,000 or $5,000 for 1 hour, or whatever. Was it worth it? Did you get the results that you wanted? Not only do I want my time back, but two, I know that I'm not giving you the best. I know it's not going to help you. So now I'm scamming you and you scamming yourself.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's interesting. Speaking of website, I actually saw you do something on a live once where you talked about things that creators think they need to make money and things that they actually need to make money. Okay. And you literally told somebody, like, go ahead and take your website down.
Take it down.
And it was like, whoa, how am I supposed to make more money without a website? Talk about that philosophy, because just the idea of what we think we need versus what we actually need. What's that like?
Before I even jump into this philosophy, right? When creators, and Nikki, you can let me know about this. Whatever, we literally on this podcast right now. When it comes to the creative field, when they're getting booked, do they get booked off the website or the referrals? Before I even get any deeper, are most creators getting booked off of referral-based business, or is it websites?
Referrals.
Most of the time. Before I even get into philosophy, we're talking about, there's graphic designers that you probably know. There's editors that you probably know. And correct me if I'm wrong. You know them right off you got their number. You're not sending, all right, Nick, if I ask you for a graphic designer right now, who is a graphic designer that you know? You can give me one or two or whatever.
Nick and Kev.
And are you going to give me the website or their phone number? You can put them in a group message. What you going to do?
A phone number and possibly their Instagram so you can see the work. I'm
going to see the work, and I'm going to hop on a call. Nick's probably going to listen, there's 5 bands. I'm going to pay $5,000. It's done. He going to send me an invoice proposal. I'm going to pay $5,000. Nick referred him. I seen the Instagram. $5,000 in his pocket. No website was needed. Now, that's just off referral basis. Let's get to the actual philosophy of it, right? So when people ask you, I'm glad you mentioned Instagram. When people ask creators like, yo, I want to see this person's work, they never specifically say website. Have you thought about that?
That's good.
They say, I want to see your work or portfolio. They never specifically say website. What's their web? They don't say that. They say, let me see the work. And the work can come in different things. It can come in an Instagram. It can come in Dropbox. It can come in a folder, whatever. However, it can come in a freaking mail file. I care. They never actually say website. Now, here's a couple of things about the website. When we're talking about percentage, is there a percentage? What's the percentage of people that know how to work Instagram? 0 to 100.
That know how to work Instagram?
Yeah, I mean, just know how to go through and look at photos on there.
I mean, a good amount know how to look at photos.
A lot of people can have the Instagram app. They can go to it, and I can see what photos I like. Yeah. I'm not saying that I know how to know an algorithm. What I'm saying is I can go to Instagram and I know how to look at stuff.
Yeah.
Now, how many people actually know how to work your website? Right? You create this whole website. I don't know where the about section is. I don't know where the book me is. I don't know where none of this stuff is. So now that's a distraction. That means that's longer. It takes me longer for you to get to the bag.
That's good.
I'm a client. I could have already paid you, but since I got distracted, now I'm over on Amazon now I can't find the stuff. I'm all in a whole nother place. I'm not saying do not get a website. I'm not saying websites are not important. What I'm saying is people think that they need these certain things to get rich, okay? Because they equate websites to money. And that's not the case, right? They got a website, you got a logo, you got your business cards, you got your business email, you got your business phone number, you got all these things, and you thought that these things mean I'm going to get rich. And no one has ever told you that. No one has never said it. You can't YouTube, nobody has ever said, you do these things, you'll get rich. That's never been said before in life. So you did it, right? Based off of no facts, based off of no data. Right? And when you actually find out what you actually need is way for people to find you easily, pay you easily, and you need to be able to fulfill it. That's it. So in photography and videographer's case, they need to be able to find you. What's the easy way to find you? Just Instagram. Just for a case. You can still use Facebook, whatever. I don't care. They need to be able to find you easily. That means if my name is, this is Nikki, I can find her.
Yeah.
Not freaking Nikki Boogaloo. I can't spell that. This is Nikki. I can find her. Right? Pay you. Boom. It's a link right there or whatever. Boom. Button. Pay. Or whatever it looks like. Okay? Right. And then fulfill it. Can you do the stuff? Can you coach me? Can you create? Can you do whatever? Do you have a tripod and camera? Right? So find you, Instagram, pay you, what they use. Honeybook, I don't care, however you get paid, and fulfill it. Do you have a camera? Do you have a tripod? Do you have a microphone? That will help you get to $10,000 a month. Now, these other things, I know you're probably thinking, well, Brandon, all these people say, well, everybody else have this stuff. Don't I need this stuff too? Yes, but just not for what you think you need it for. You need this for things like business funding, business credit, LLC, Secretary of State, whatever. Right? So it's just two separate things. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Wow.
I could go 7 different ways with this one, and I'm trying not to get in my creator bag too much.
Let's
So
do
let
it.
me. No,
So
no,
like-
no, I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna save it. Let's go back, because some creators, especially those who hold the camera, are like move off of passion. I love the art of it, right? And like you said, yo, I got awards, but that didn't really bring in money.
Exactly.
So can you list out a few ways, from maybe the most obvious ways to some of the like, yeah, you probably didn't even know you can make money with your camera doing this. Like, name some of the ways people can make money off of their camera.
So what I do is I focus strictly on, I'm very simplistic. So what I used to do, I used to give people options. Now I start giving people options. No more options. Right? When I first started, I used to let people just do like, whatever you want. You want to do music videos, you can make money off that. You want to do this, you can make money, which is true. But when I hired a coach and he asked me a couple of questions, he was like, well, how can you help people get the fastest results and less effort and guarantee it? I was like, well, they have to do what I do. They have to work with businesses. They have to do retainer and charge monthly. That's what I tell people to do. People have one pricing. They have one strategy. People use one platform. It's one everything, right? It's more so like I create like an In-N-Out burger. So when you go to In-N-Out, it takes literally seconds to order.
Right.
Cheesecake Factory, it takes longer. So I created In-N-Out. So basically, I say all that. The answer to your question is, there is multiple ways, but I want people to focus on one, which is predictable income, right? You work with businesses, you have them pay you $1,000 a month minimum, right? If you get 10 clients, you make $10,000 a month. So there's no more confusion. There's no more distraction. There's nothing else left that you have to think about or do until you get to 10K a month. Once you get to 10K a month, I don't care what you do. You can go and travel the world. You can go and eat chicken wings. You can go and do whatever passion thing. You can go and do whatever the heck you want to do. Plant a garden. I don't care what, it has nothing to do with me at that point. Put it like this. Creators been broke too long for them to have options.
No, that's a fact. That's a bar. Hold on. Let me go away.
Yeah, no, that's good. You know what's crazy, Brandon, is that I, in just conversations with other creators, I say that creators, or especially people who are talented with the camera, I look at them as the new age blue collar worker. And I don't mean blue collar to dummy down what they do or make it seem like grueling work, but I literally think of it as, it's in such high demand. It's so essential to online business, heck, to any business, that the demand of it is critical. I find it like a critical element to that. My thing is, though, I'm just more interested in the switch that happened in your mind to say, not only am I going to do it, but I'm going to go ahead and teach other people to do it. Because you've built your business model around really helping people to learn the craft, to make money from the craft, and scale in that standpoint. What was the flip or the switch that happened in your mind to say, okay, I see that this is a need, there's a challenge out here in the marketplace. I'm going to go ahead and jump into that space and utilize. It's not like somebody had to give you permission. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like people often also feel like that's something that's important for them, but it don't seem like that's what happened with you.
Well, one, no one else knew what I knew. At least it felt that way. So I'm talking to other, like, imagine just having like sauce or game or just something that people just don't know. And it seemed like no one else knew but you. It's scary. Right? It's like, one, I can't work with all these people by myself, right? I can't be the only person that people call when they need stuff. I'm like, well, they can do it too, but they don't do what you do. I'm like, well, they probably could. Maybe if I show them, maybe I could, right? So it started to begin like, I need to create more of a impact Because I could do this on my own and make $1 kajillion. But why would I be on top and just watch other people suffer when I come from the same place as everyone else? I come from a small hometown. I come from poverty. You know, my dad's alcoholic. My brother's in prison. Like I come from nothing. And if I can do it, I can't just watch other people suffer. It doesn't make sense. Right? It's like there's no way you can be a creative or be in the same place that I was in and just watch other people just literally just fail. And I know how to get them up. Like I know how to help them succeed. It makes no sense for me to watch that. So it's multiple different reasons. One, impact, right? Two, helping people. What's crazy is when I did it, it actually helped my business grow even more. So when I wanted to help people, I realized that once I graduate people and the people get good, I'm like, they can work. The client said, I work. I'm like, shoot, I don't have to shoot. Let them shoot it. I'm like, shoot, this is, it kind of added another thing. So it's like, when you start to do good, you start to operate in this abundance mindset, like more will come to you. So that wasn't my plan initially, but then it turned into it.
Okay, let me stay there. So for those people who are going to like, okay, I'm gonna take it into a business, but like maybe even that agency route, right?
Okay.
What was the very first couple of steps that you did? Did you get a team? Did you get more equipment? Did you like what was those? Did you just get the logo and just kept moving? Like, what are those steps to make it into the agency that you have? And then also, on top of that, what is one thing that you wish you could do over from it and like avoid completely?
Yeah. All right. So I'm assuming you mean like start your own agency, right? Do you mean that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the first thing I did was I started with retainers. So initially you charge people a lot of money every month. Right. Once you start that, because what happens is it creates a system, right, of predictable income, and you have something. You basically got this assembly line or this Chick-fil-A essentially, right? Once I know that I'm getting this amount of money every single month, I can put a system behind it. Meaning, I can now put employees in place. I can put somebody can work the cash register, somebody can work the fries. Because if you're just doing it, if you don't know, put it like this: if you hire people and you don't know what gigs are coming or whatever, and they're just kind of sitting back waiting, you can't guarantee people anything. You can't guarantee people gigs. You can't guarantee people money. So first thing I did was I created a structure where I can guarantee me, myself money first. And then from there, I created a system around it, right? So I'm like, this is how I shoot this person, right? This is how this needs to be edited. This is the time I do it. This is the best way to do this. This is a system in place, meaning I can walk away and anybody can do this. I can go in a coma tomorrow and somebody else can be BrandonShotMe today. Right? So then from there, I was like, all right, I need to show like my editors how to do this. So my editors know how to actually edit this particular person or project or SOP. Right? So now I got money coming in from the same people. I got editors doing the exact same work. And now I don't necessarily have to do anything because nothing changes. The Chick-fil-A sandwich is the exact same sandwich every time you go there. It's chicken, 2 pickles, bun, top and bottom bun. That's it.
Okay, hold on. Let me follow up. Sorry, Boost. Let me follow up because as a creator, because some of us want to give that personal style to each client, right?
I love it.
So how do you avoid that, like, and be able to be like,
Let me jump in.
Here's the SOP. Here you go.
I got you, Nicky. I can jump right on in here.
Go.
You ain't gotta. I was like that at first.
Right.
What happened was it almost never fails. When I'm editing something and the more sauce I add to it, the more the client don't like it. I'm for you. I don't think if you a true editor,
you understand that. You understand that.
Feels. Oh my God, you're done. And you say, you know what? I'm gonna find this sound. I done went to Africa and found a real giraffe and recorded the giraffe, flew back to the States.
I hate you.
Put the giraffe in, and boom, I sent it to the client. It's about to go crazy. They're like, yeah, everything is cool, but that giraffe sound. I'm like, you mean the one I just went to? I went to Africa. I found the real giraffe. That was crazy.
Shots and everything from it.
I went and I put the giraffe sound, right? So Then I realized that, okay, so a couple things. I'm gonna help you with that, and I'm gonna tell you what the actual. So there's actually 3 phases to editing. When you first, this helps you overthinking. When you get done with your first edit, like when there's a first edit where it's official, this is the one that you should send to the client. But what happens is editors will go into 2 more phases that are unnecessary. Yeah. So the second phase has a little more editing, a little more style, a little more personal to it, right? And then they said, well, shoot, I said a 3-day turnaround time. I got a little more time. I'm going to go into the third phase, which is overboard. So what happens is we're sending the client phase 3 when we should only send them phase 1. Phase 1 is exactly what the client asked for. This cut, speaking slot, this whatever, that's it. It took you hours to do it. The client could have had it posted up on the gram. It would have been done. But we're trying to put our own style to it.
Yeah.
So here's what I did. As opposed to, this is how I separated. I always sent my clients phase 1, which was just enough for them to have. And then all the phase 3, I did it on my stuff. That's how the Videographer trash come about. And that's why you hear the same sound. I hate that sound. I don't care. I like it. It's fun to me. I'm going to throw it in there again.
That's a fact.
So you do your creative stuff for your stuff. And the people who are paying you money, that means they also control the way you it's less stressful. It's less stress. Just go ahead and do it. They pay you $1,000 a month. Just do whatever. Phase 1, you're done. So you do get to still express your creativity, Nicky, just not on your client stuff. Right?
Talk about it.
Let's go back
on your own stuff.
Let's go back to Chick-fil-A. You order number 1, right? You know what you're going to get: chicken, 2 pickles, whatever. But now you want to put your own style on. So as opposed to putting chicken and pickles, you put Frosted Flakes on it, right? You threw two gum worms on it. You put some bleach on it. You like, this is my style. They ain't gonna do when they hit this. This about to be crazy. And it's like, nah. I seen the picture. It said the pickles. I thought it was gonna be the number 1. No, this isn't number 1. I just threw my own style on it. Right? But can you just? Have you ever worked at a fast food? Am I working at a fast food spot?
No.
So McDonald's was my first job, right? So we made the clients like a whatever, a McDouble or a double cheeseburger, whatever. But then we will sauce up our own burgers on break.
Right.
Burgers that was never on the menu. We'll throw a burger in there. We had our own burgers that would never hit the menu, but it was our thing. We couldn't give that to the clients because that's not even on the menu.
Oh, that's good. Okay. All right. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the idea of even the pricing model is one price, right? It's the retainer model. Yep. What would you say is kind of the same thing, like you said, what they need to get paid and what they actually need, what they actually do to get paid. What's the same thing when you're working with a business, or how most creators would approach a business to get paid and that they do wrong versus what they actually should be doing to land some of those retainers and put themselves in position to get their time back and do some of these other things that you're explaining?
I'm trying to understand the question. I guess you're trying to figure out, like, what are they doing wrong to land these clients as far as pricing?
Yeah. Like from their attempts to try and get retainers versus what they actually should be doing to get their retainers.
So, it's a lot of things. So, one, they had this thing they created this thing called a pricing sheet. I don't know if they know what that is. You know what that is? A pricing sheet?
Yeah.
So you'll create I've done that too. Regardless, you create pricing sheets. It may have like 3 things on there, maybe 5 different packages on there. It might have list all the different things, and then they send it to a client and they say, boom, just pick whichever one you want. So here's the issue with that. The issue with that is you're allowing the client to be the expert in what you deliver on. Right? So most, I don't know how creative you are, but I don't know, do you know what, do clients know what raw footage, JPEGs, high res, all these different terminologies, do they know what any of these things mean? And
very little.
If it's beneficial to them.
Right? Yeah, very little.
So what happens is, since we don't know, I'm like, well, I'm going to assume. Well, I'm not going to assume. I'm going to already think in my mind as a client, I want the lowest package because I don't want to spend a lot of money for it. Right? So I decide to pick the lower package. And then when I come to the shoot, you realize that I want to shoot a whole movie. Yes, we didn't hop on a call with a client, right? We don't know. We're not the doctor. We didn't assess what they need. We end up trying to automate the business when the business is not even systemized to automate. right? So I guess problem one is pricing sheets, right? You can't necessarily diagnose someone without talking to them and hearing the problems first. What do you actually want, right? And then I can price you accordingly. I don't put it like this. If I'm the only person who knows what you need, why would I allow you to pick it?
That's good.
If I go to the doctor and I can't walk, right? I know that you need a spinal surgery because I looked at an X-ray. But the nurse come in there and give you a pricing sheet. Which one do you want? You got spinal surgery, you got freaking knee surgery, and you got whatever, neck surgery. So you just like, neck surgery is $200. You pick neck surgery, you got neck surgery done, come to find out you actually need the spinal surgery. The doctor already knew that. The nurse and the doctor ask series of questions, do x-rays before they actually give you, and they don't give you options. They're like, listen, if you want to walk again, this surgery is going to cost you 10 grand. It's going to take the surgery's 2 days, 2 weeks in bed rest, and you can be up walking in no time. Why would you pick anything else?
Because you didn't know.
You didn't know.
And you were trying to be cheap.
You're trying to be cheap, you're trying to automate it. So what happens is, they should, whether they like it or not, they should hop on a call with every single client, period.
Wow.
No, that's a fact. That's always a fact.
It's going to suck, and I get it, because you got to work. You got to work your job. Talk to them on lunch break. Talk to them when you get off work, right? Oh, people just try and be cheap. I get it. I understand. But since I've been shooting, of course, I didn't have a website. I've talked to every single one of my clients on the phone before they ever work with me. I've been doing it for 12 years. I've never ever had someone book a link, and like we've always became best friends before we start shooting. I know exactly what's your name. I know what we're shooting. I know there's no hiccups. I've had less problems on location, on set, because I know exactly what I'm getting myself into before I go shoot.
Man, that's so good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so good.
Most people don't. You send the link, and boom, what's crazy? They send a link, bro. You don't even know who the person is until you show up. You can't even pick them out of a lineup.
You hear like, yo, you
Oh, you booked me?
right.
If we haven't talked to each other, what's going to, and you guys can speak on this. If you send me a link, what's going to like incentivize me to spend more? $300 probably the max I'm going to spend on a link.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know you. I don't know if I like you. I don't trust you. You could be a scammer. How much are you willing to spend? I can't do it.
Okay, wait. Stay there. So what do you suggest for those introverts that don't want to get on the phone and talk to them and just want to do the work? Are you suggesting, this ain't for you, or what we doing?
I'm tracking. What I suggest is you hop on the phone anyway. Okay. So here's the thing. Just because you're an introvert, this is still your business. It has nothing to do with you, how I can't laughing. It's like, do I like you? Do I trust you? Whatever. You can be monotone on the phone. If we have a connection and I feel like you know what I want in the vision, what you say, you being an introvert, has nothing to do with the product. Those are two separate things.
Right.
You need to learn sales and marketing to be able to run a business.
Say that again.
You can't, even if some people may say I'm an introvert, I'm gonna give it to somebody else. You can't give a job to someone else that you don't fully understand, because you can't train them on a job that you don't know.
First of all, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
For real. I had somebody say like, man, I don't want to like do sales. I just had somebody else do it. Right. How you gonna train them? Well, how you gonna, you ain't got trainers them? Okay.
Okay. All right. Sorry, Jose.
I appeal. I get it. Introverts kind of like, yo, I don't want to get on the phone, but I'm telling you, even if you're an introvert, you will still sell more. Mind you, now I've been coaching for 4 years, so that means I've already coached introverts, extroverts, all type of people, and they've all made money. So it's like your personality type really doesn't matter. Some people are mean, some people are nice. It doesn't matter. Do you have the sauce, or not even have the sauce? Forget the sauce. You don't need sauce. Do you understand my vision And are you the right person for the job?
Yeah, what's crazy, man, is that so much of what you're saying, like I know of course, your niche is specific to videographers, creative shooters, but it's like tangible business fundamentals. Like you could do this in any real business model, which is really dope. The one thing you mentioned though is marketing, and of course, I feel like that is a whole new hurdle in itself because, like you mentioned, algorithms changing, platforms coming up that are new. What are some of the things that you maybe teach your students to maybe embody so that they can learn how to consistently get themselves in front of new people?
Yeah, sure. So here's the crazy thing is I strictly focus on Instagram, but you can do it for any social media. So you got to have so we understand we have a niche. You need to have content on your page that's niche. So let's say you're Instagram, and let's say you focus strictly on pet photography, whatever, as an example, work with pets. Okay. Then you can literally, I focus on messaging, like DMs and messaging and outreach to other businesses, right? Meaning you can be at the house, you can be at work, you can be at the job or whatever, and you can have conversations with 50, pet companies a day, right? With having these conversations with people, you got to find out whether they want your services or not. We're not spamming people, right? We're talking to people. We're having a conversation with people who already want our stuff anyway. Once they decide to say, yeah, I want it, that's what I need, you hop on a call with them and then you close them for whatever your retainer is. So now here's the crazy thing about it. Since we skipped over websites and all this other stuff, meaning we get right to the bag, we're at the house and we're focusing, getting really, really good at having a conversation with people and finding out whether they want our services, right? So let's say out of those 50, we'll be able to hop on a call with, 5 people, right? Or 2 people a day. Whatever. At the end of the week, you would have already closed at least one person for $1,000 a month. Now, you're probably thinking, man, I'm sending these messages, my freaking fingers hurt. This sucks, right? But it's kind of like back in the day, you had to do door-to-door sales.
Yep.
Back in the day, you had to do radio advertising. Back in the day, you had to do all this extra work. Now we got social media. You don't have to go across the street and talk to the pet company. You can find them right here on Facebook, right here on Instagram, and send them, yo, what's up? I seen your stuff. It's right at your fingertips. People are like, where are the clients? They're online.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Okay. Here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be people like, all right, I'm going to create this business.
Okay.
What equipment do people need to start a business in photography and videography? Like some people are thinking they need the $10,000 cameras and a whole team. Like what do they need to start off with?
Sure. You need just enough to fulfill it.
Oh, break that down. Break that down,
Okay.
sir.
Sure. So let's say that we work with business, right? So you need a tripod to be able to hold the camera stable, right? You need a kit for your niche. I didn't want to make that rhyme, but I guess it did.
I see. Okay. The rapper's coming back. Okay.
I tried to. So meaning, let's say if I work with real estate, at that point, I would need a gimbal. At that point, I would need a drone. If I'm working with a consultant, right? At that point, I may just need a tripod, camera, microphone, maybe lights. That's it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So meaning, I'm working with a consultant and I bought a drone.
They ain't cheap.
I'm working with all the consultant is doing is walking up and down the street. I got a drone. I done flew it over his head, and I'm like, "What? Why did I
get him in the back of the head?"
In the office.
He in the office. It's a drone. Right here. It's right here. Right. So what happens is you bought the drone for you. You didn't buy it for your client. You bought it for you. Okay. You need just enough to fulfill it. Right. You got the gimbal. You got the 10,000. You done got the 4K, 8K camera. This stuff is going on Instagram at 1080, compressed. Now, I do get it. Brand, I do need to get the high quality. I do need to shoot the 4K. I do need to do all that. It's easy for me to scale in. It's easy for me to be able to, whatever. But, all right. You have to think like a CEO, not a photographer and videographer. You own a photography and videography business, right? You are the CEO. Photography and videography is just a service that you provide. Okay. So let's say you jump out there and start shooting AK, right? You got a computer, you got the deck, you got control AK files. I don't know if y'all know this, but control AK files, you need a very, very robust computer to be able to control that. Of course, Nicky, did you know that?
I had no idea.
Meaning the regular MacBook Pro that you get from Apple, it's not going to be enough.
No.
You either need to build a PC or you need to get a customized Mac that might cost you $5,000 plus.
Fact.
Nick, am I tripping?
No, it's a fact.
Okay. So let's say you do this, right? You shoot 8K, you want to give the clients the best. How are you going to be able to hire another editor to do the work for you?
No scale. That's good.
So
That's good.
Meaning whenever you create a business, you want to ask yourself, is it scalable? And the way you're approaching it is not scalable because they're going to need a robust computer as well. So if you're only making 10K a month, right? That means you can't even, because this person also you need to be able to pay for computers or whatever for these people. And you can't, and you need to pay for the equipment probably. So now you're 15K out the door just to hire a person.
Wow.
Thanks.
Now, people aren't thinking about hiring. I get it. But the problem is people don't think far enough in the future. So let's say you're 35 now. I don't know, 30. You're young, 25. Okay. Do you want to keep shooting for 30 more years? 20. 15. People say, I like editing. I love editing. I love shooting. Cool. Which is fine. But do your spouse want you to keep editing all night? Don't you want to travel the world? Don't you want to do all the things, right? So you claim you like editing, you don't. Let's stop. Let's stop lying. Because if I asked you to edit this or freaking go to Bali, you would go to Bali.
That's a fact.
You got a lot of me. You're just saying that for like, oh, I just don't want to see. Let's stop the cap. Stop the cap. You'll be in Bali chilling with your spouse, with your family, with your kids, with your mom. Mom want to go to Bali too. Mom in the city. Let's stop.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. This will be my last question, but I just got to say, it is so refreshing to hear how simple you've made this whole process, right? And like I said, and it's so cool because it's applicable to so many different variables in industries. Like it's just basics, and we gotta stop complicating it for ourselves, our clients, the people we work with. Yeah. My thing, man, just final question: if you were to maybe give a piece of advice to younger Brandon, who before he made the jump, who was trying all these different things, what's a piece of advice you would give him early in his journey that others could probably benefit from based on what you know now?
I don't know, man. I would say, well, for me personally, invest into like learning, invest in education, right? The one thing that changed my life was when in 2016, when I read that first book and I started reading more books after that, and then I was looking at people like Eric Thomas, Inky Johnson, David Shans, when I started investing into like knowledge. Because before I was just hanging out, watching YouTube, just watching stuff like how to edit more, edit better, cartoons, just stuff that like was like entertaining. But I never really thought about like investing into my mind. If I invest into my mind as far as reading self-help books, hiring mentors, hiring coaches, even if it's virtual, even if you can't afford them, like, because David and Eric Thomas, they was my virtual mentors, right? I consumed them every week. Literally, Eric Thomas helped me with, my relationship with my spouse, with my wife. David helped me with like entrepreneurship. And he gave me motivation. Like all those things like fed my brain. So I would have done that a lot sooner. Self-help books, virtual mentors, real mentors, coaches, education. If I did that a long time ago, I would have shortcut a lot of this process.
Okay, I got two last questions. Two last questions because you said books, and Musa, I always got to ask. So, what are 3 books that you recommend to all creators?
You ain't got to say no more. You ready? I'm gonna give you an order.
Okay.
You should read them in this order. Okay. The first book is 10 Distinctions Between Millionaires and Middle Class. This book is going to this is the first mindset shift that you're going to need, because now you understand that you've been living like a middle class person this whole time, and then you need to convert over into a millionaire mindset thinking. Okay. The very next book is called The One Thing. Okay. You can read this book second. The One Thing. The One Thing talks about obviously what it is, right? Making a lot of money and being very impactful by focusing heavily on one thing. Because if I say it, if Nicky said it, people don't believe me. I don't know, probably because I'm black. But if they listen to this guy say in this book, whatever. When they listen to this guy say in this book, they're going to be all the way tapped in, right? He said a quote. This quote said, just because we can, we think we should. Meaning, if I know that I can sell this water bottle for $10, I'm like, oh, I can do this. I'm going to go do it. It's like I just keep doing stuff. Like, yo, can you just stop? Anyway, so that's the one thing. That's number 2. And then number 3, the third book you should read is The Compound Effect. Right? These books build on each other. The Compound Effect talks about doing small things over long periods of time. Right? So the reason why I've got to the place where I am now, because I've tried different things, but it always went back to photography and videography, because that's the only skill set I've been doing for a long period of time.
Right. So
people quit and give up too early and too often. So even if you're not really trying, let's say you're baking cakes, even if you don't want to like be a bake cake or whatever, if you've been doing it for 5 years on a consistent basis, you will literally be an expert over most people who've been doing baking cakes for 1 day or 2 weeks or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
It just basically talks about consistency, the compound effect. Because people think they need to do a whole bunch of stuff. You need to do small stuff over long periods of time. This YouTube game, right? Nicky, you guys already know this YouTube game is a long play, right? I've been back and forth off the YouTube thing. It's tough for me to do it. But I know you guys have mastered it. Like, listen. Oh, so put it like this. The people watching Nicky Moose podcast right now, I don't know how many subscribers y'all got right now. They're going to come back.
Over 10,000. Let's talk about it.
People will come back 5 years later because they feel like that both you guys started your podcast, YouTube, around the same journey, and you guys are going to be at 500,000, 1 million subscribers, and they're going to be like, "Well, I'm at 4. What did I? I've been doing. You haven't been doing the same thing,
right?
You have not been doing the same thing. I've been doing this every single week, or you guys have been doing it every single week, and you haven't. My podcast is not super special. I didn't do anything amazing. I just didn't give up, and you did.
Damn. Wow. All right.
You read the books in that order. I promise you. I'm gonna give you a time limit to read them. The first book is 80 pages. It'll probably take you 2 days. I'm gonna give people 2 weeks. I'm gonna give you 30 days. 30 days, read all 3 of those books and come back to the comments or whatever and let me know. As you read the book, let me know your takeaways. Within 3 months, it's going to be life-changing. And this is not your typical rich dad, poor dad, and whatever. These are strictly, if you are a creator, you need a mindset shift. These 3, you read these joints in order, you'll never think the same ever again.
Thanks. All right. Last question. Mm-hmm. So, Brandon, the personal brand, not the business brand, the personal brand, the low-key comedian with your videographers trash. Because those, if y'all have not, first off, go follow him on Instagram. Second, if you haven't seen any of those are one of the best things. Every single time he posts them, I love them to death, right? Talk to us about your strategy about you being the brand. So you're normally behind the scenes. You're normally, you have a successful business. You've done everything as far as shooting every type of event ever, right? But now it's time for you to brand yourself. Talk to us about that process.
It's crazy. I wasn't expecting or didn't want to like become the shooter or BrandonShotMe, whatever. It just kind of happened that way. And I don't know, I think everybody has something to say and everyone has something to bring to the table.
Yep.
I feel like it's important for everybody to, of course, build a business brand, but it's also important to build a personal brand. I feel like everyone, introvert or not, you can do videos and stuff like without showing your face. It's so much other stuff. Everybody has something special and unique to bring to the table. And when I started like building this brand, I remember having 2,000 followers and people laughing at my stories. Nick, I don't know if you remember this. You do remember this actually. When I used to do the thing on the I'll teach a lesson and then I'll say, we lit at the end. It was fun. Like, and it was like, I feel like that most people like, I guess they cower when it comes to social media and stuff like that. And they think that nobody's going to like you, nobody's going to like you or whatever. It's not about having a lot of followers or having a lot of subscribers. It's about leaving your mark, leaving your personality like on this earth to let people know it's okay. There's other people like you and you just need to be able to express that. I don't know if I answered your question, but that's kind of like the way
you did.
That's kind of like the way I look at it. Like just go out there and create the best way you know how. Don't be pressured in business. Don't be pressured by trolls online. Just do it. It's going to be people there's going to be lives you're changing. There's going to be people you make laugh. There's going to be people that learn from you. There's going to be people that take a interest in what you do or what you say, regardless of what it is. I think if you focus heavy on the activity and not necessarily on the goal, it'll make things less stressful and less chaotic. So build your personal brand, whatever that looks like for you.
Facts.
Oh, was that?
Right.
What was that? Well, listen, I thought it was Magic City. What was going on?
I gave my last question, man. I just wanted to say it's been, I always say this at the end, is that our show kind of came together by accident during COVID. Yeah. And, everyone, of course, says, hey, we wish we would have gave these people their flowers while they're still here. You got to appreciate them. We were like, well, let's do something about it and actually, bring that to life. Like, this is our token, of course, of highlighting your work, more importantly, highlighting you as a person. Like I said, I definitely appreciated the simplicity behind the teachings and just the straightforwardness of like, don't do that. Actually, no, still do that, even if you are an introvert. Like, it's just sometimes people just need to hear it as it is. And man, thanks for definitely giving the time and sharing this with the people.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
And I have genuine love for you and the wife. Shout out to the wife. We still have to figure out what to do together. Me and Brandon for years have been like, all right, what are we going to do? And then we both grew. He grew business. I grew as a brand. Yep. And then it's like, we'll meet up like every 2 years. Like, yo, what are we going to do together? Like, okay, why don't we go like away and bring everybody? Okay, cool. And then we never talk about it. And then we're here again. So everybody, look, Brandon's super dope. Tell the people where they could get into the, the Shooters Academy. How could they, get like book the agency? Because you can't book Brandon. Sorry, you can't do that. He has a whole agency for this now. But like for people who want to get into your stuff, tell them how to get into it.
Yeah. So first of all, I wanted to just say, I appreciate y'all, man, for allowing me to come on this platform. I feel like this is like probably my best podcast episode. This was really good. Really good. Like, I'm like, no, it was good.
We're not gonna ask the typical stuff. That's why we're not gonna ask the typical stuff.
It was just good. It was like it was question. I was like, oh, this is good. Like, I really want to answer that. And I think it's probably because like, you guys are creatives anyways. It probably helps a lot. But I'm like, that's the stuff that kind of like, it feeds me, keep me up at night. Like, I don't know. I love it. So that's one. So I appreciate y'all for letting me out. Also, yes, can somebody let me know in the comments what me and Nicky going to do? Like, I just feel like we like, I don't know. I watched him for 100 Wall Street Travel. They like a best of both worlds tour. I'm like, why are we waiting? I don't know. I feel like we can just do something crazy.
We got to figure it out.
I want to make sense. I want people to get lots of value, of course. Let's think it through. And that's that. Outside of that, y'all make sure you guys, if you want to know anything from me, if you want to go to, of course, you want to go to ShootersCamp, go to ShootersCamp.com. But obviously, follow your boy on Instagram, BrandonShotMe. You can pretty much DM me and I'll tell you whatever you need. If you want to do Shooters Camp, you can DM me. If you want to get in touch with agency, you can DM me. Whatever, I'm just literally a DM away. ShootersCamp.com to get coaching. Follow me for tips. Or if you want to book us for events or things of that nature, you can also DM me there as well. But outside of that, I'll see you guys on the gram.
These are facts. And normally, Moose ends it with final words. Give the people some final words so we can close this episode out. Or no.
All right.
There you go.
I got you. I was just looking like, because when you said it, I was like, said usually Moose, and I thought of me like, I'm still going to pick Moose, but now it's me.
No.
I'm like, okay. We're right back over here. Final words. I guess let me, this is a quote I just said the other day. Don't let pennies distract you from dollars, which is basically the shiny object syndrome, right? So if you say, like, oh, just because I can sell this bottle of water, I can go do it and make a little bit of money. Focus on your goal. Focus on making money and let the passion, like put the passion to the side for right now. Let your pride, ego, passion go right now. Focus on making money, change you and your family's life, and then you can come back and work on your passion later.